Hi everyone. Block stock has been on a wild ride so far this year in 2023, starting off the year by rising more than 30% in the first month or so, and then falling to a level where now it's down about 2.7% for the year, despite starting with a huge jump. Of course, I recommended investors buy block stock for 2023. So far, that recommendation is not working out so well. In this video, I wanted to take a look at what's going on inside of Block with commentary from CEO Jack Dorsey so we get a little more insight into what's going on with Block and what's going on with Block stock. So let's get right into it. So Jack Dorsey, founder, co-founder of Block, uh, had a meeting with Wall Street investors where he gave some interesting commentary that I've highlighted for you here, the big picture from that. So the CEO saying, obviously there are some challenges ahead, including many that are out of our control. There's three main macroeconomic challenges. The number one is that we're in a constant state of global crisis, which is true if you think about it. We've had the geopolitical tensions, we've had the war in Ukraine, we've had inflation, we've had the pandemic. Number two, we've had the regulatory fragmentation. And then number three, we've had the global financial system shifts. So these are three challenges for Square Block, and the companies had to navigate these, and they're difficult. They're not easy to solve. So instead of having global standards right now, Jack Dorsey is complaining that we end up with rules which are different for every market, effectively slowing the pace of development. While this might be a good thing for each market, it makes it challenging to grow a global internet business. Yeah, true, but this has always been the case, really, and it's not a good thing. I agree with the CEO here. Each market creates its own standards and its own rules, and it makes it difficult to operate a global business, which is why it's more difficult to operate a global business and it's more risky to operate a global business. Of course, the CEO did not shy away from the big trends in the market today, and the biggest one right now is artificial intelligence. The CEO saying that they will be utilizing machine learning, and that's something they've always employed at Block. And the recent acceleration in availability tools is something we're eager to implement across all of our products and services. He goes on to say that some of the efforts towards those trends, including their some of the efforts they're making to capitalize on the popular trends right now is their Bitcoin wallet, Bitcoin exchange, Spiral, and others. Of course, cryptocurrency is still popular, although, of course, it's not as popular as it was in the early days of the pandemic in 2020 and 2021 when everybody and their cousin was talking about cryptocurrencies. Now, the mainstream is not so much interested in cryptocurrency, although you still have a big group of loyalists that have stuck around. So you had this big increase in popularity and utilization and investment, and then a big majority of that has went away, but a big number has stayed. So you had a boost. Let's say you attracted 100 million customers, 90 million went away, but you still got 10 million customers. That's a big base of customers that were attracted during those boom times that turned into loyalists and are now sticking around. So that's really good news. And Block is capitalizing on that trend still. So this I found interesting is the geography they are focusing on is the global south, countries within Africa, Latin America, Asia, and Oceania. The region is adopting open protocols faster than Western countries. We're choosing to focus on these markets because we believe the total addressable market over time is bigger than anything we're currently in. I'll say two things about that. Number one, yes, I agree. population size and population growth is going to be the biggest in the regions that Jack Dorsey just mentioned. I agree with that. However, on the flip side, the per capita income, the average revenue per user that you can garner from that region is incredibly small. It's a fraction of what most companies are able to generate in more developed economies like the US and Europe. And you can look at this across the board in companies that operate in the regions mentioned here and in companies that operate in developed economies. The difference between the average revenue per customer is massive. So it begs the question, is it worth the initial investment to go after these markets when the upside in terms of the average revenue per customer is so limited? Now, that might change 10 years from now and 20 years from now, but the way it looks right now, the average revenue per customer is so low, even though the number of customers, potential customers, is massive. So that's just the give and take to consider there if you're thinking about being bullish on companies that are investing in these massive market populations. All right, so that's all I've got for this video. I hope that sheds some light on what's going on with block stock. I've got more videos coming out, deeper analysis on blocks. So if you're interested in that, look around my channel, subscribe, and you'll get those and dig deeper into the company. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.